I watched Comic Drake's video on every Spider-Person ever. Not only was I amazed on how many there are, but also how many actors have played Spider-Man. So, in today's video I will be compiling every actor and voice actor put on the mask. A quick disclaimer, I will only be counting the English versions of Spider-Man, so no dubs. I will not include fan films and I will only be counting Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So no Miles Morales', Miguel O'Hara's or any other variants. With that being said, let's get into it. Let's start with the big three: Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Let's do this, ready? Wait! I love you guys.
Tom Holland as Spidey has appeared in 12 projects: Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, Infinity War, Endgame, and in the post-credit scene of Venom Let There Be Carnage, and in the following short films: Spider-Man Only Way Home, Peter's To-Do List, and Peter Parker Takes His Driving Test. He also voices Spider-Man in the theme park ride Web Slingers Spider-Man Adventure. There is also an older theme park ride called The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man in Universal Orlando, where Spider-Man is voiced by Chris Edgerly. And Tom Holland also voiced Spider-Man in the Fortnite Chapter 3 collab.
Another hero has arrived on the island. Could it be? It's me, the one and only.
Did you know that the young boy with the Iron Man mask that Iron Man saves in Iron Man 2 is supposed to be a young Peter Parker? He is played by Max Favreau. Tobey Maguire played the character a total of 4 times on the big screen, along with the video games adaptations of the Raimi trilogy, with varying results.
Promised Harry and MJ that I would meet them this evening. I can't even remember the last time I saw Harry or Mary Jane. MJ's been busy with acting. Harry's got Oscorp.
Andrew, on the other hand, played Spider-Man in the Amazing films and in No Way Home. He did, however, not voice his character in the video game adaptations. That honor went to Sam Riegel for the console versions of the games.
Doc, if you help me come up with a cure, we'll both be heroes.
While the honor of the voicing the Spider-Man for the iOS version went to Andrew Chaikin, who also played Spidey in the Ultimate Spider-Man Total Mayhem. Speaking of the Amazing Spider-Man films, Max Charles was a kid actor playing the young Peter Parker. Staying on the topic of live-action Spider-Man, the first ever actor to portray Spider-Man in real life wasn't Nicholas Hammett, like some sources on the internet states. He appeared in the 1977 Spider-Man TV film that was followed by 2 seasons of The Amazing Spider-Man and 2 spin-off films. The first ever live-action version was Danny Seagren, who played the wall crawler in Spidey Super Stories in '74 and Spider-Man in the Electric Company the following years.
He's so dumb he's trying to eat a hot dog with no mouth!
That does it!
Also in 1974, a short fan film called Spider-Man vs. Kraven the Hunter was released and endorsed by Marvel Comics and authorized by Stan Lee. Spider-Man was played by Joe Ellison. Sadly, the film has been lost to time. In 1978 and in 1979, there was also a short film and a TV series of Spider-Man in Japan that was played by Shinji Todo. Scott Leva is a stunt coordinator and a stuntman who has put on the suit many times. He was supposed to play Spider-Man in a cancelled film, was on the cover of The Amazing Spider-Man number 262, he often played Spider-Man at events and was even in the first X-Men film in the blooper reel.
Wait! I am completely in the wrong movie. I am so sorry.
The first ever actor to voice Spider-Man was Paul Soles, who voiced the character in the original animated Spider-Man series that aired from 1967 through 1970. Only 5 years after Spider-Man debuted in The Amazing Fantasy number 15 in 1962. The series has one of the most iconic superhero theme songs to exist.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can.
The character also appeared in 2 episodes of Spider-Woman animated TV series from 1979. The last time we've seen this character was more than 50 years later after the series was created in the Across the Spider-Verse film, where he was voiced by Jorma Taccone.
I can do anything he can. Oh, dang, I pulled something.
On the topic of the Spider-Verse films, it gives us an additional 6 actors on our list. First, in the Into the Spider-Verse, Peter Parker from Miles' universe, Earth 1610, is voiced by Chris Pine. Peter B. Parker, the older Peter from both films, is voiced by Jake Johnson. Then we have Josh Keaton, who voiced Spidey in The Spectacular Spider-Man and in the Across the Spider-Verse.
I am the Spectacular Spider-Man!
Plus in a bunch of video games. Edge of Time, Shattered Dimension as the Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds, Marvel Superhero Squad, and in the Infinity Gauntlet. The Lego version of Spider-Man from Across the Spider-Verse was voiced by Nick Novicki. Peter Parker from Gwen's universe is voiced by Jack Quaid, and lastly we have the Insomniac Spider-Man Yuri Lowenthal.
Still angry after all these years, Marco? You should try yoga!
Everyone knows him from Spider-Man 1, the DLC, the spin-off, the sequel, but he also appeared in a bunch of other games. Spider-Man Unlimited, Midnight Suns, Marvel Pinball, plus the Venom and Avenger Chronicles versions, Marvel Future Revolution, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, Marvel Superhero Squad Online, Zen Pinball, and in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on mobile. He currently holds a record for playing Spider-Man the most times out of any actor. Another voice actor that has played Spider-Man and has appeared in the MCU is Hudson Thames, who voiced Zombie Hunter Spidey in the What If series.
Step 2, hygiene. Zombies are attracted to the smell of human flesh, so the less pheromones you give off, the better.
And in the short film that gets played at the Disney Cruises Avengers Quantum Encounter. Let's talk Lego for a bit. Across the 7 projects that we have seen featuring Lego Spider-Man, 7 voice actors have voiced him. We've already mentioned Nick Novicki from the Across the Spider-Verse film. In the first Lego Marvel Superheroes game, he is voiced by James Arnold Taylor.
Hey, spider-like agility at your service.
Who also voiced Spidey in Spider-Man Friend or Foe, Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth, Spider-Man Battle for New York on the DS, and the voice of Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars. In the second Lego Marvel Superheroes game, Lego Spider-Man is voiced by Martin T. Sherman.
Startled? Me?
In this series, Lego Marvel Spider-Man Vexed by Venom, he is voiced by Robbie Daymond, who voiced the character many more times in other projects. He voiced Spidey in the animated Spider-Man series on Disney XD.
Another glorious day as Spider-Man. Still not used to calling myself that.
Marvel Battle Lines, Marvel Power United VR, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Marvel Contest of Champions, Avengers Assemble, Black Panther's Quest, Guardians of the Galaxy TV show, and in 2 Marvel animes, Marvel Future Avengers and Marvel Disc Wars The Avengers. In the series Lego Marvel Superheroes Maximum Overload, he is voiced by Drake Bell. Yes, that Drake Bell.
A secret base? Where? A tropical island? Inside a volcano? On a satellite?
New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey.
He also voiced Spider-Man in Earth 12041 Marvel Animated Universe, which contains Ultimate Spider-Man, Hulk and the Agents of Smash and Avengers Assemble. He also voiced Spider-Man in Marvel Heroes, The Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, Disney Infinity 2 and 3, and even in Phineas and Ferb.
That means no shenanigans. Hey, Spider-Man. So I'll be over at Stacy's all day.
Sup?
Another Lego series, Lego Marvel Superheroes Avengers Reassembled, is voiced by Dan Diskin, who also voiced the character in the Marvel Experience and in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And in the last LEGO series, we have LEGO Marvel Avengers Climate Conundrum, which was voiced by Cole Howard, who also voiced Spider-Man in Marvel Superheroes Avengers. It seems like in every decade we have a Spider-Man TV show, like the original Spider-Man in the 60s, the Spectacular in the 2000s, and the Ultimate in the 2010s. Let's take a look at the other ones. The Spider-Man animated show from the 60s was followed by simply called Spider-Man that ran from 1981 to 1982 and had 26 episodes. This Spidey was voiced by Ted Schwartz in his only Spider-Man role.
Off to save the Club and Daymond. And I can't even pay my own bills. Isn't that a gem?
The next animated show was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, where Spider-Man was voiced by Dan Gilvezan, is joined by Iceman and Firestar from the X-Men. It also began in 1981 and ran until 1986 for 3 seasons.
Norman Osborn's become the Green Goblin again. Now he's after Mona.
This show was later redubbed in the Marvel Mashup show that put more comical spin on the original scenes, which was voiced by Dave Boat.
Stop right there, Giant! It's just a billboard. My bad! Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends!
The original voice actor Dan Gilvezan also played Spider-Man in a Carl's Jr. commercial. Spider-Man the Animated Series was a 90s reboot of the character that featured more action and sometimes went into a darker route story-wise. It lasted for 65 episodes and was voiced by Christopher Daniel Barnes. Christopher also voiced the Wallcrawler in Spider-Man Cartoon Maker, Symbiote Spider-Man in Marvel Heroes, and in the McDonald's and Chef Boyardee's commercials.
So hot, it's practically radioactive. Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee.
For the next show we have Rino Romano in Spider-Man Unlimited, which took the character in a more cyberpunk route. It wasn't that well received and lasted only 1 season. He also voiced the character in the 2000s video game simply called Spider-Man and also in its sequel, as well as Spidey in X2 Wolverine's Revenge. Neil Patrick Harris voiced a more darker toned Spider-Man in Spider-Man the New Animated Series, as well in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Then came the Spectacular Spider-Man, the Ultimate Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man on Disney XD. The most recent animated series is Spidey and His Amazing Friends, who is voiced by Benjamin Valek in his only Spider-Man role.
And done! Oh wow, this is gonna be great! Hey, check this out!
Spider-Man also appears in TV series that aren't solely based on him, like Sam Vincent in the Fantastic Four World's Greatest Heroes TV show and Andrew Francis in the Astonishing X-Men 2009 series. There are also 4 short series that have these animated comic-style animations. These include Wolverine Weapon X, Tomorrow Dies Today, voiced by Andrew Todd, Spider-Man Agent of Sword by Geoff Boothby, Spider-Geddon by Griffin Burns, and Spider-Man Big Time by Johnny Young Bosch.
My name is Peter Parker, and life is pretty darn good. Norman Osborn is finally behind bars, where he can't hurt anyone. And after our last battle, my deadliest enemies have all gone into hiding, so hopefully they won't be making any trouble.
I also found the Marvel Superheroes 4D experience that's available in the Madame Tussauds locations in New York, London and Singapore. The 4D animation film is voiced by SpongeBob himself, Tom Kenny. And lastly, for the animated side of Spider-Man, we have the PSA Spider-Man Don't Hide Abuse, voiced by Gregory Snagoff.
But sometimes keeping a situation secret, especially a bad situation, isn't the best thing for you to do.
Stop your crying, Maria! It's all your fault.
Did you know that there was also a Spider-Man Broadway musical called Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark? During the 4 years that it ran, Spider-Man was played by Reeve, Carney and Justin Matthew Sargent. The production was a disaster, with actors, injuries, delays, bad reviews, all the while it was the most expensive Broadway production in history. Let's talk about the remaining Spider-Man video games. The game with Spider-Man's best swinging mechanics is in Marvel Avengers, where Spider-Man is voiced by Chiplock.
Looks like I got some friends too. Avengers, assemble.
He also voiced Spider-Man in one other project, Marvel TLDR, which is the animated series that summarizes past Marvel events. Mike Vaughn voiced Spider-Man in the underrated Spider-Man Web of Shadows and in the Amazing Allies edition. Sean Marquette also voiced Spider-Man in another underrated title, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Good. And evil. But who says you have to choose sides?
Marvel vs. Capcom has had many titles over the years. 3 and Fate of the Worlds was voiced by Josh Keaton, Infinite by Robbie Daymond, and New Age of Heroes and Clash of Superheroes were voiced by Patrick Chilvers, who also voiced Spider-Man Superheroes vs. Street Fighter and the video game Marvel Superheroes. Buster Maxxwell voiced Spidey in the DOS game Marvel Comics Spider-Man The Sinister Six in his only Spider-Man role. Erick David voiced the character in the free mobile game Marvel Avengers Academy. In 2005 we had Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects, where Spider-Man was voiced by Alistair Abel. Yuri Lowenthal and Ben Diskin voiced Spider-Man in the second and third Marvel Ultimate Alliance game respectively. In the first game he was voiced by Quinton Flynn. The Sega CD game The Amazing Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin was voiced by Jim Ward. Mickey Kelly voiced Spider-Man in the free-to-play online game Marvel Superheroes Squad Online. And lastly, we also had a language learning game narrated by Spider-Man voiced by Jason Woods. Spider-Man being over 60 years old and being loved by so many, it's no wonder that the character has been spoofed so many times. For the MTV Movie Awards in 2002, Jack Black played in a parody version of Peter Parker and Spider-Man from the first Sam Raimi film.
Save my baby, please!
Pass. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I'll get to that community stuff a little later. Whoa! Spider-Man's getting a tingling sensation in his arachnids.
Seth Green and Andy Reiter voiced Spider-Man in Robot Chicken, Kevin Shinnick and Mickey Day voiced him in Mad, and Mike Henry voiced the character in Family Guy.
You took a big risk coming here, man. James Woods could be back any minute.
I know. How fast can you do it?
As fast as Spider-Man when he gets laid.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. That's never happened to me before. It's just... you're so attractive and it's been a while.
I'm gonna go.
Those were all the 62 actors that I found that have played Spider-Man. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye for now.